In this lecture, we're going to design the home screen of our mobile app. As you can see, I already created a new file and I added this little section with all the colors included in the app, so that they are easily accessible with the color picker and they can be used immediately in our design. Once you have defined the color scheme of your app or website, it's always a good practice to keep all the colors in a similar list, which is accessible all the time on your canvas. One more thing I did is to save all the primary colors in this section below the color picker. We will use these colors very often, and having them here will make our work even faster. I didn't save the secondary colors here as they will be used only once or twice in the whole app, so there's no reason to. Okay, so we're gonna start creating an artboard for our home screen. I'm gonna do this by selecting the artboard tool, or letter A, and selecting an iPhone 6 or 7 resolution. So we have our artboard here. We're gonna move it down below our colors. And now we can add the background image, which I saved already to my computer. And we can just drag it from Finder onto the canvas. As you can see, it's a bit too big, so we need to use the handles here at the corner of the photo and resize. Then we're gonna move it back. And resize it like this, center it a little bit. And that looks good, I think. So now we need to add the status bar on top of the screen here. We can get it right away from here. Basically, we're gonna open an Apple iOS UI kit, which is available out of the box in Adobe XD. We're gonna zoom in and get one which is with white text. We're gonna select it, then copy, go back to our main screen and paste. For some reason it pasted over here, but we're gonna drag it and put it back up like this. Next, we need to create our logo. So we're gonna use the text tool with the letter T. I'm gonna spell out the name of the app, which is gonna be Hooked, just an imaginary name I came up with for this app. I'm going to change the text to white, increase the size a bit, and first of all, actually, we need to change the font, which is called Intro. Oops. Intro inline. Actually, let's put down the font size a little bit, and then we center it by dragging and following the purple line appearing in the center. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little subtitle under our logo. We're gonna use the text tool again and just write some random text. Gonna change the color to white, and this time we're gonna use a different font, which is called Lato, which is a great Google font. You can get it for free on the Google font website. I'm gonna move it here and probably lower down the font size a little bit to about 15 pixels, and we're going to center it as well. Okay, so now we can create our buttons. To do that, we're gonna use the rectangle tool, or letter R. I'm gonna draw a rectangle of about 250 by 50. We can change the size here on the right panel. We're going to remove the border, and we're going to round up the edges of the rectangle to about 10 pixels. Oops. I'm going to move it down here, and we also need to change the fill color to our pink that we already saved previously, like that. So now we're going to add some text on top of the button. To do that, we're going to duplicate this piece of text here by holding the Alt key and dragging down. As you notice, this is behind the button, so we need to, in the layer panel, we need to move this text up. Then we're going to change the text to something like sign up now. And we're going to make it bold and probably lower down the size a little bit, and then move it at the center of the button. So now in the layers panel here on the left, we can group these two layers so that we're only gonna have one layer group for this button. We select them in the layers panel and we're gonna hit Command G, and as you can see there's a new group here which we're gonna call button 1. Actually, let's tidy up a little bit our layers panel. We're gonna rename this into button background. The text can stay the same. We're gonna move the status bar on top and the logo and the subtitle between the status bar and the button as well. The background photo can remain the same, and actually we're going to lock it by using the little lock icon right here, so that if we click on it, it's not gonna get moved around. So now we're gonna get our button here. We're gonna select it and duplicate it and drag it at the bottom, leaving about 15 pixels between this one on the top and the one at the bottom. We're going to change the text to login. We're going to center it as well, and we're going to change the color using this color here, which we're gonna get by using the color picker. There we go. Now we can select both of the buttons and drag them down a little bit towards the bottom of the screen, and probably move down a little bit the title, the logo, and the subtitle. And this is our home screen.